these were my people. Within an hour, I was like, these are my kind of people. Because I had just come from, let's say about a month earlier, I had just taken like 4 or 5 classes, business heavy classes, whatever. And I was like, this isn't right. Then I walk on a set like, these are my people. So I'm incredibly lucky to have that. But that day was rehearsal and I had never done a rehearsal before. And for some reason, I decided to try to go 125% on my acting and rehearsal. There's people painting walls in the background and I'm trying to act all dramatic and everyone else is kind of just chill. And I'm like, what's going on? Why am I trying to do this? It feels weird. And I remember kind of crying a little bit on the way home because I was like, was this all for nothing? Because all these people are fantastic and amazing, and yet it just didn't feel right when I was acting. And my thing was, yeah, I have to do my job. And within that short couple hours that I was there, I really kind of cared about these people and their grade. I wanted to make sure they got an A. So I kind of let go of all the stress and was like, okay, it doesn't matter. If it goes great, it goes great. If it doesn't, I just had an experience that not many people have. I went in there and I went to do my job and they had me stand in the soundstage. It was a big giant soundstage, one of the dark sound stages. And they were shooting different scenes. There was 4 other actors. They were shooting their scenes. I came in that day and they had me like, oh, we're not gonna shoot your scenes yet. Like 15 minutes, go stand on the other side go stand over there. So I was standing in the soundstage on the corner, dark corner. There's like a couple furniture. I was just kind of sitting on one of the old couches. 15 minutes turned into 3 hours. And I'm sitting on the dark side of the soundstage in a corner by myself, pacing, trying to stay in character for 3 hours, just walking around. And then eventually they came back. It was like 7:15. I was like, oh, we're not shooting your scenes today. And I'm standing there in the soundstage, and not only are they not shooting my scenes, they went over and they said, why aren't you in the green room? And I was like, no one told me there was a green room. I had never seen a green room before. I was like, no one told me there was a green room. And they was like, come on, we'll go to the green room. Went to the green room, 5 minutes. They were like, okay, it didn't work out. We're gonna shoot it tomorrow. So they was like, can you come back tomorrow morning? I was like, yes, I can come back tomorrow morning. So I went in, we went in, stayed in character as much as possible, and shot the thing in 15 minutes.
Musician. I don't need any music. I don't need you either! Shut up! Let me out. Let me out!
Well, I'm involved in this movie, in this feature film, and it's called Love Trap. Super amazing film. Everybody involved is doing a wonderful job. From the director to the director/writers to the crew, everybody on the lovely crew, then to the cast. And just the entire setting in general, the environment is just so welcoming and everybody is so diverse. But we all come collective to help invest into this vision that the director and everybody has of their own, but we all come in and just make it to be beautiful. So I can't wait for y'all to see that. Yes, sir.
One of the stories that stick with me the most, really short, it's not gonna be a long story, is I cry every time I watch the end. And it's like not a funny story, but it's like, bro, you know what's gonna happen, and it gets me every single time. I know I mentioned it earlier, but it gets me every time because not only am I proud of the movie, I'm proud that I was alive to make the movie. Like, I remember trying to harm myself, and I didn't want to die. I just didn't want to be alive. And I had to really look at the scale and stop putting myself in that situation where I would test to see when I know that I didn't want. So just being able to see the movie come to life, and for me to be alive to see it, for me to be alive to make it, I never thought I would be able to do that. And it's probably not like a story, but like, that's where those tears come from. The tears come from, I really survived, and so can you. You know, when you're in those moments and you're like, the panic is like so real, It's like you think that feeling nothing is better than feeling everything all at once. And it's like it's okay. You know what I'm saying? It's really okay to feel it, you know? And sometimes the feelings get overwhelming and you don't want to feel it. And it's like, it's okay to have grief. So I named the movie Good Grief because it's okay to grieve. It's okay to hurt. It's okay to feel. It's okay to not be okay. Just having things to push you on to the next day, that's the secret. The secret is having techniques that can get you over to the next day, because sometimes like that next day just really shows you that everything was going to be okay. And I'm just so grateful because everything, it was okay. And I thought it was the end. It felt like the end. It felt like nothing would feel better, but here I am. I want y'all to know it's gonna be okay. So yeah, just give me a second.
So today's show, we try to have guests on every week, and so part of, aside from today, but on any given day, you know, I'm searching for artists to interview. I'm reaching out. I have artists that reach out to me as well, looking how they can be a part of the show. From there, it's, you know, promotion of their interview and all that legwork on top of my regular 9-to-5 grind. You know, I drive for a living, so I'm always out of town. I'm always going all the way up to Michigan, and in that whole day, really, it transpires into the whole week, really, because every from day to day, as I'm editing videos of these interviews, I'm posting them. Again, corresponding with different artists from everywhere, making sure I get them to send their music first. And half the artists that I don't even know, I have to listen to their music first. If I don't really like it that much, then I have to say to myself, you know, is it worth me interviewing someone that I'm not really feeling their music, or is it just me that's not really feeling it? And sometimes I'll send it to Fuego, be like, here, check this out, tell me what you think. Or sometimes I'll say to myself, man, these guys got a ill following. Maybe it's just something I'm not up on yet, you know what I'm saying? So I have to just say, okay, I'm not rocking with it too much, but it is supportable, you know? And then from there, just try to connect everything. Today we had...
It was cool for the most part. Let me see. I woke up this morning. Nah, I wouldn't say the morning. We woke up like 1 o'clock. It was like 1, 2 o'clock when we woke up, yeah. Lady said we had a long night though. You know, I got up, rolled up some good weed. You know, got blazed. Went in the car, got there and chilled out, listened to some beats. And then, you know, my homies got up. We all went back up to the hotel room. I told them we were about to hit up the mall and stuff. Go cop some fit, shoes, normal shit.
My name is Emmanuel Simms, and you're watching Rising Filmmakers.
Welcome to the Rising Filmmaker series featuring Emmanuel Simms, MFA, here with us today. We're here to explore his passion for film and his journey to the big screen.
I've always been fascinated by movies. As a kid, we would sit around as a family and we'd watch them over and over again. We had about 30 VHS and we just circulate them all over again as a family. And it really sparked something within me. And I knew then that I wanted to do more than just be a viewer. So I pursued my master's degree in film later on in life. And I realized that that was the missing piece of the puzzle that I've been waiting for. And it allows me to create on a different aspect. Making movies is like, it's for me, it's high level problem solving. It's like you got to get all these different pieces to make the picture look like the one on the box. So I really enjoy just the trial and error, just the learning curve of it, the persistence, having the grit you have to make it through with it.
That's incredible. What has been your most rewarding experience as a filmmaker so far?
Well, that's easy. Last year, I was able to be a line producer on my first feature film called Love Trap. And this movie starred Khalil Kain, who was in Tupac Shakur's Juice. And it was super exciting for me because I'm like, oh my God. Like, I used to watch him on Girlfriends and like, I'm like getting him water, you know what I'm saying? And we had like these really deep conversations. And like, you know, he knew that I was on a deeper journey for manifestation. He could tell, you know, based off the conversations that we were having. And I just went up and asked him, I'm like, yo, how do you tap in? And, you know, we got into it and he was like, letting go. When you let go, you're able to really be into your character. And I was like, yo, oh my God. Like, but I literally was like watching him on TV and now I'm line producing a movie with him in it. So I can't say it gets no better than that. You know what I mean?
Why do you think it's so important to have diverse voices represented in the film industry?
I think it's very important to have every culture, background, or perspective represented in film. It gives people an opportunity to see themselves on screen. And it's these stories that I believe could spark the decision to actually make real change in the world. So we want to inspire these people, you know, and I think representation is key.
That is a great point. As you continue to make films, what message do you hope to spread?
I want to inspire people with my films. I want to give them a sense of hope and optimism that if they really do try, that they can receive the outcome. I do believe that fear can come in so many different forms that we don't even notice that it's there. And in times, I want people to know that they can still make it even though they're afraid, even though they're not sure that the outcome's going to come out, but they still pursue it because everybody that's gotten past that next step knows that the further that you push, the more you find out you can do. So I just want to inspire people to do that. And hopefully we can spark a new generation of creatives.
That sounds wonderful.
Thank you.
Finally, Mr. Emmanuel Simms, what would you say to any aspiring filmmakers out there, such as myself?
I would say don't be afraid to take chances. Dive right into your goals. Some things will work out, some things won't, but you'll never know what you can do until you try. So just get creative. Don't worry about all the details right now. Just get started and just chase your dreams, and I believe in you. And I'm proud of you right now for even just getting closer to this step. You know, the fact that you're viewing me now, it says that you really want to further pursue your career and you're trying to get to another place in your life. And I just believe that you can get there. And I'm here to support you because you're no longer doing this alone. Welcome to the community.
We'd like to thank Emmanuel for joining us because we are about out of time. It was an absolute pleasure having him here with us today. It was great to know more about him and his passion for film. We'll see you with the next rising filmmaker. Thanks for watching.
And thank you guys for having me so much on your platform.
A masterclass by Willie Paul Womack Green on his song with LMA Philosophy called Riverside. And I picked up quite a lot of important information on stuff like compression ratios and learning how to mix low end. I have a lot of low end frequencies in my music, and for me, picking up on any sauce or valuable information that has to do with making your low end sound as clean as possible, that's always valuable for me. You know, a lot of rap music today, a lot of trap music, house, all the music that has a lot of heavy low end is very moving in a certain direction, but we don't see the mixes growing in quality a lot of the time, and that's something I want to take in when I do my music as a trap, rap, and reggaeton producer.
I got into work, and then I put my new pair of shoes, because technically you're not allowed to wear outside scrubs inside, so I put on my second scrubs, and then I put on my second different shoes, and then my second something to cover your hair. And then I went inside and I worked in decontam today. It was so fun. One of my gloves broke and I had literally human fat and veins in my gloves. So it was like all over and it just spilled out of this instrument. And I was like, okay, that was really fun. So I ungowned, I scrubbed everything with hot water, put on another PPE on, and then I had a lot of eye trays, a lot of heart trays, and I was by myself in decontam because I'm always working solo, which was really fun.
Hello and welcome. My name is Emmanuel Simms, and I'm thrilled to have you here, a part of our Lights, Camera, Action film program. First and foremost, I would like to express my sincere gratitude for you choosing this course to embark on your film journey. Filmmaking is a powerful art form that allows you to tell stories, evoke emotions, and create lasting memories. And in this course, we'll dive deep into the world of film production, exploring everything from generating creative ideas to showcasing your finished film. Over the course of our time together, we'll discuss the fundamental aspect of filmmaking, including camera operation, lighting, sound, directing, and more. You'll gain practical knowledge and hands-on experiences that will allow you to bring your vision to life. I want to emphasize that this course is for any individual, all ages and background, who may have a passion for filmmaking. Whether you're a beginner eager to learn the ropes, or someone with some experience looking to enhance their skills, there's something here for everyone. I'm here to guide you every step of the way, sharing my expertise and insight gained from years in the industry. But it's not just about me teaching you. It's also about creating a supporting community where we all can learn and grow together. So get ready for an exciting experience filled with creativity, discovery, and the joy of filmmaking. By the end of this course, you'll have the confidence and knowledge you need to plan, produce, and showcase your film. Remember, this is just the beginning of an incredible adventure, and I cannot wait to see what you create. So let's jump in and make some movie magic together.
Hall of Fame, we're there all week at the ISS, International Student Society. It's ISS on Discord. So I just got here today to meet these people. So these are my club friends, and they're the very best friends you own. So ISS is the International Student Society, and I am part of that club. I'm very popular on Discord, but to meet these people in real life have really brought me a marvelous distance.
It's like I'm a Rasta, I might grab some fish out the sea, but I'm a city boy, you know what I'm saying? I need Wi-Fi, you know what I mean? I'm an urban Rasta man. Urban, actually, people misconstrue the term and think that it means black. Urban means city. So, you know, if I'm an urban Rasta, I was born in Queens, New York. Jamaica, Queens, no doubt. But I am Jamaican, you know what I mean? Spent time in Jamaica and in Jamaica, Queens, funny enough, growing up.
You have an idea. A brilliant concept for a movie that has been brewing in your mind. You can see it on the big screen, captivating audiences, leaving a lasting impact. But what now? How do you turn that idea of yours into a reality, bringing it into a full-fledged film?
crazy looking chick on the screen.
Get you on that. I got so many women problems. My X chromosomes, they ain't never show up. That's where we come in. We're a team of experienced producers who specialize in turning your ideas into reality. We take your vision and guide you every step of the way, from concept to the screen. And the best part, it won't cost you a dime to learn how we can turn your idea into a motion picture. Schedule your consultation today with our team of expert producers. We'll listen to your ideas, provide guidance on the entire movie-making process, and discuss how we can bring your vision to life. So don't let your movie get stuck living in your head. Take action now and schedule your free consultation with our team. My name is Emmanuel Simms, and I'm here to help you bring your movie to life into the big screen.
It's a mess, you know? It's a mess globally. Everything went up. Money is losing value, you know, everything going up. So I have to secure my source of food first. And me and my friend, we just purchased 1 acre and then now the second one. So that I want to already have a pit, and we dig a little bit deeper, we're gonna get some water, you know, so I have my own source of food and water to secure my future. If things go back to how it was before, it'll be great too, you know, but still, I'll have a garden, you know what I mean? And then one day maybe I'll take my grandkids to the garden that I grow, and you know, let them climb the tree, you know, eat the fruit off from the tree itself, you know, like how many people out there have that opportunity? You know, most of the fruit you eat in the market, like they plug it from the tree at a young stage, so that when they ship, it doesn't go bad, you know. So slowly it was forced to ripe. You know what I mean? So the quality of fruit and vegetables that you eat right now are all-time low. You know, we eat frozen meat. I mean, nothing wrong with that. It's just that we could have better, you know.
A lot of my castmates was like 10 years younger than me, so seeing how their mindsets are during this time and seeing them go for something they really want to do, because I didn't do that at their age, and like they're doing it with the right mindset and stuff like that. It just inspires me more. Like, yeah. Although I'm at my age, I still can do it, and I'm still going to do it. But yeah, so we got to set, and I kind of chilled out in Holden a little bit with some of the extras and got to meet them. They were really cool. One of them actually bought one of my books this morning. Yeah, and I was like, oh my God. Now I got to see him again so I can sign it.
I feel as though, number one, my purpose is to be a mom. That's first things first. But to also just touch everyone around me. So since a kid, my mom has instilled to just help.
My purpose in life is I just add towards kingdom building.
So I make people happy. Like, so that being said, it just makes it easy. I get up every morning and do what I do, and you know, people are happy. You know, I don't really get complaints, and you know, people are happy.
You know, I've been a Christian all my life, and grew up knowing that only what you do for Christ will last.
I've helped friends come from Florida and brought them into my place. I've helped people build their businesses and brands and help style their brands and shoot their brands, photography and things like that. So I feel as though my purpose is to put my hand in each pie and kind of help everybody go along. How did I discover it? It's more so, I'll say something that's always been in me. Elementary school, I'm the kid that you could go to ask for $1 or $2, or I'm that friend that if I'm going to get a slice of pizza, you're getting a slice of pizza too. So it's just always been me, genuinely.
I believe in speaking those things that aren't as though they were. However, when my grandmother told me when I was a kid that you was gonna be a preacher, I kind of saw that she spoke that into existence. And as much as I understand the things that's going on in the world today, I know that those are the things that matter today. The world's gone in so much turmoil, and the only thing that matters is what you do for the kingdom.
The motivation for me is just me. I feel as though I deserve more. I have always wanted and yearned for more. I was that kid that wanted to go to NYU. I didn't have the $50,000 a semester, but I wanted to go to NYU. I had always had big dreams. I wanted to be the next Bill Gates. I wanted to be Duff Goldman down at Charm City Cakes down there. I've always aspired to be the next great.
Well, one, don't give up. And one of the things that I do sometimes, because easy does easy, and I say that all the time, okay? And what I mean by that is when you wake up in the morning, you go, oh, I got school. Oh, I don't have to go. I can go tomorrow. Count backwards. Do something. Get up. Do something to get yourself out of that, and then get up and go do what you got to do. Absolutely. Yeah, absolutely. I think one of the biggest ones that I had to overcome was myself. I'm my own worst critic. And, doing that, and once you overcome that and realize that you are a good person, you are a viable asset to the community, you end up doing what you need to do.
So I'll say this is something that I'm currently overcoming, which is depression. Everyone falls flat and you have to pick back up at some point. And right now, I just started to do things that made me happy again. So as simple as it seemed, I went and loaded up the Sims on my computer again. That was something that I did every single day as a teenager. I needed to make myself smile. I needed to feel like me again. I started to create more. So I actually have a sweater that I created sitting on my doorstep waiting for me right now. So just redoing those things that I know I'm supposed to be doing versus trying to figure out all of these other avenues when that's not working for me.
Absolutely. You don't know my history, but ironically, I've been through so many challenges. I spent over 15 years in prison, came home and made a conscious decision that I was gonna walk, in the right way today. And ever since then, I've been blessed. I've been living the abundant life. Stop settling for less, because you were created for so much more. Those things that easily beset us are the very things that keep us from moving forward. And while we're so oblivious to why we're here in the first place, chance happened to us all. But the reason that it happens to us all because we're not wise enough to know when misfortune will occur. So we're living a life and we're chasing dreams that's temporary. But if you're chasing a dream that's eternal, because there's a higher place and you were created for more for a purpose living, a purpose-driven life have you reaching for things more than what's tangible, but supernatural things. We do what's required in the natural, but when we on a rise above circumstances and rise above things that easily beset us, we have to understand that we were created for so much more. And that's my mindset going forward. Regardless of where when I fall or when I get back up, because it's never about the fall, it's about the getting up. Because the just man falleth 7 times, but what makes him just is that he got sense enough to realize he can get back up and get back in line.
This is for all of the smart kids in this world. Just because you know it doesn't mean you don't have to do it. That's where I went wrong. Every answer on the notebook, I knew it. Every answer on the test, I knew it, but because it wasn't challenging for me, because I didn't feel like I had to do it, I didn't do it. And that hindered my grades, of course. So you can go to your teacher and say, oh, can I make this up? But why didn't you just do it when you had the opportunity to? That's genuinely, just do it. Like,
take every opportunity that you are given, because if you don't, you're gonna find yourself wishing, and wishing will not get you anything. Take the opportunities.
I'm Jada.
My name's Dave Cutler.
My name is James Cusack, and that is my why.
And that is my why.
That's my why. You can find me on all social media platforms at How Dope Is Jigga.
I gotta get my grandma put her on a soapbox a little bit, because she lived a beautiful life. 9 siblings, 5 children. She was Mary Kay elitist. I mean, that was she could sell Mary Kay to a man, overweight, middle-aged man. She would sell him Mary Kay. Like, she was that good. She just walked, her line was, oh, your skin looks so nice, what do you use? Bam, you're in there. As soon as you talk to her, it's a wrap. You're buying a whole package set. She even got the car and everything. You like the pink Cadillac? My grandmother got the pink Cadillac. She ended up not doing the Cadillac, she ended up doing a Grand Am, a red Grand Am instead of the pink Cadillac, but she still got a car from Mary Kay because she was that good. She was that top tier right there. So you don't think it's much, but she really, for being a woman from a different country, she's Jamaican, my family's Jamaican, that's my heritage, coming from Jamaica, being brought up by the Kennedys, which is actually interesting. She got up on the work program from the Kennedys. John F. JFK had been shot already by that point, but the family still needed the help or whatever, so they brought her up to assist. She helped with the kids and things like that for a little bit on the work program. Next thing you know, she's in New York, and because socialization is a big thing. Remember to socialize. Remember to teach your kids to socialize. The antisocial thing is cute, but it's not going to help anyone in the long run. Teach them to be social in just about every environment, because she was able to socialize. Like I said, a little woman coming from Jamaica, a little immigrant woman, the way she was able to get a house, one of the first houses in Queens as a black immigrant. There was no black, it was all Jewish owned. So she had the first little corner house in Queens, had the best yard and everything, and she got it first. Well, they really overcharged her just because she didn't know better. They really charged her too much money. But she still paid less than, of course, what it is now. But, and this goes on to choosing your partner now. So her life just kind of exemplifies, like, step by step of what to do and what was done right and what was done well, but also what not to do. So when you're picking your partner, be very particular. I mean, very particular. Like, let's get specific. Not just in the, I need 6'6", 6 figures, 6 feet, 6 pack, right? The 666 rule. No, you need to have it be more genuine. Does he speak to you kindly? Does he rub your feet after a long day? Is he thoughtful? Does he remember small things, little things that you love, little things that you enjoy? So find someone does he help you grow? Like, is he an asset to your life instead of a liability? Make him be an asset, make her be an asset to your life. Your life is already okay. Let them come in and just improve that life. They just build, you guys just work a partnership, and you just build together and grow together in a beautiful way, come together. So my grandmother was one to grow. She had a house in Queens, she had a house in Long Island, and so she wanted to get more property. She was all about having property. She knew that was important. Having houses was important. But the men she was with weren't thinking about it like that. They were okay with, just existing. They didn't necessarily need more. They weren't ambitious like she was. So that cost her. It stopped her from doing a lot of things and kind of getting to that next level in her life that she wanted to get to, that she's working so hard for. So just be mindful of who you're with. And so now, and now she's in her elderly age. Now she's in a nursing home with, like I said, she has her family that still loves her, but, she doesn't have her houses anymore. She doesn't have her car anymore. She doesn't have, so all that's gone. And like I said, it's New York now. So her house that was in Queens, that was, I think, $60,000 at the time when she bought it, is now probably, $2 million easily, like without even blinking, in New York. And it had an attic and a basement. So she could have rented out both things. She could have had like 6 bedrooms to rent out. She rented out the bottom one. But yeah, it's just being mindful of these things. So when you get these things and pass these things on to your children, teach them how to use it appropriately. Educate them on it so they know and they can use it responsibly and it continue to grow and work for them. Land is critical. Houses are nice, property is nice, but land, that's what we're missing, the land. The property is not ours. The property we never really own, because they can say, we need to totally demolish your property. We'll pay you something because the land is ours. We own the land underneath your property. And that's what's happening. That happens a few times in a few different states. So just be mindful of that. Like, you don't own the land, you own the property. And that means nothing, because they could just demolish it and they own the land. And legally they can, because it's their land. You're on their land.
You got the white picket fence, palm trees slinging in the air, and clouds that are so close to the earth you can almost touch them. They just sit up there living their best life, bro. Clouds got the best job.
You ever think the clouds get depressed living their best life?
Of course. How else would you explain the rain?
Well, congratulations, Tanisha.
Thank you.
This is an epic movement for not just teens, but women everywhere.
Everywhere.
First, we want to say welcome to That's Me Faith. Welcome to The Well. Welcome to God's Ordinary People Blog Talk Radio Show. We are so excited to have you and your wonderful husband, Minister, Pastor, Elder, Gosa with us, the king who hails the queen.
Yes.
And so we are so excited to have you. I know you had a long day. You are fabulous.
Thank you so
Your
much.
whole venue is amazing.
Thank
you guys
you.
should have been here.
Yes.
It's amazing.
Thank you.
Your books are gorgeous.
Thank you.
They are fabulous.
Yes.
Honey, when I say you put royalty out there to the world, you put it out there, right? So tell us a little bit about yourself.
Sure.
I said keep everything down in 1 minute, but okay.
Yes.
Okay.
So, yes, I am Tanisha Gosa, and I am definitely married to my college sweetheart, Pastor Ciandre Gosa. I am a social worker. I am a motivational speaker. I am first of all, most of all, I'm a child of God. That's first and foremost. I'm an encourager, and now I am an author.
This lady, she got it going on, right? Okay, so your journals are geared towards teens. What was the motivation behind that?
So actually, I have one geared towards teens, and the other is geared towards women as a whole in general.
Okay.
And so what motivated me was that when I was given my first journal at 12 years old, and so and I still have it. Down through the years, I've been journaling, getting my thoughts out there, writing the vision and making it plain like the scripture says, and just putting down goals and aspirations. And I felt like now was the time, because of everything that we're experiencing in life as women,
as people, you know, was a time for us to really sit down and be able to get out our thoughts, be able to really get out and write the vision and make it plain. And in working in the mental health capacity, journaling is like key. I encourage my clients all the time to journal because you're able to get out whatever you have in, you got to get it out somehow, some way. So why not put it down on paper?
Well, there goes 2 questions on the list. Okay, so you've gotten here.
Yes.
What's next?
Oh, what's next?
This is big.
Yes.
This is epic. This is a movement.
Yes.
And what better time to do it when we're celebrating women?
Yes, exactly.
What's next for you, Tanisha?
So I don't even know all that God has in store and what's next. I do want to get out and get into the community. I do want to get into the schools. And I do want to get into different women's groups to spread these journals. I don't know, a tour might be next.
See, that's what I'm talking about. A whole tour. This is amazing.
Yes.
Can you imagine TD Jakes, Sarah Jakes now, giving you a call and saying, I've seen your journals.
Wow.
We want you to come. What's your response?
When? I'm coming. I'm coming because I'm at a point in a season in my life where I'm just stepping out. I'm like Abraham. I'm just stepping out. I don't know where. I don't know how. Even the fact of being here in Delaware, how I got here was an Abraham experience because I didn't know anybody here. I didn't have, you know, any family here or anything. So I came out here for school by myself, and look what I've gained in the last 16 years. So I'm just remember what he did for me when I left from Jersey to come here. I'm remembering that even as I go forward in this next journey in my life.
2 inspirations. Who were 2 inspirations in your life?
2 inspirations. One is definitely my husband. My husband, hands down, you know, we're young. You're a young couple, and my husband has been there for me. Whatever it is that I envision or want to do, he is wholeheartedly there for me, encouraging me, pushing me. He always tells me, if God is in it, then go forth and be great.
My God.
And then the other inspiration is on yesterday, we funeralized our great-grandmother, my husband's great-grandmother and my great-grandmother-in-law. And so in honor of her, she is my inspiration because she raised 8 kids by herself and was a trooper even throughout her illness and her sickness. So she's another inspiration. And I actually gave her she's on the front of my journal. And I gave it to her 2 weeks before she passed away.
Wow.
And so we had her actual journal set up here at the book signing today.
How long did it take this journey to get started and really get out there?
I had the vision back in, I would say like 2018, maybe. And so I, thought about it, put it down, thought about it, put it down. And so it really took off, I would say, last year. So it took me about a year to really say, okay, this is what we're going to do. This is how I'm going to do it. This is what God has given me to birth. Yes.
Well, you wanted to say something?
No, you're
Oh, okay. One celebrity, if they got their hands on your journal, who would you want to have their hands on your journal?
Come on, Oprah.
Come on,
Oprah. Come on.
I think my son prophesied that.
Come on and get it. Yes.
We are so excited and so honored to be in your presence. We hail you queen for this month, Black History Month. You are a trailblazer.
Amen.
And we are so proud of what you've done. You opened up a box for so many young women and women to get out.
Yes.
The top is off right here.
It's off.
The top comes off right here. I believe that there's going to be a movement in this church alone, just for the people that have gotten these journals, lives are going to be changed.
Amen.
Because your heart is so sweet and so pure.
Yes.
And the anointing that rests on you guys' life and the love that you have for God's people. I'm saying this from a conscientious observer from the distance.
Yeah, man.
So we see your fruit.
Amen.
This is evidence of your fruit.
Amen.
We can't wait to see what God does next.
Yes, yes.
Did you want to say anything to our listeners before we close?
I would encourage your listeners to get out there and, like Nike said, just do it. Whatever your dreams are, whatever your goals are, go after it. You don't have to have everything all together. You don't have to have all the I's dotted and the T's crossed. As long as God is in it, He's going to make sure that you have everything that you need. So go forth and be great, because greatness is in you.
And is there any contact information that you want the listeners to know where they can reach you?
Absolutely. So I have Facebook, and you can find me at Tonisha Gosa on Facebook. Also, Instagram is Mrs. Tonisha Gosa. And also I have TikTok, it's T Gosa. And then you can reach me by email, it's tonishagosa@gmail.com.
My God, you guys heard it here yourself. Women's Month, we're celebrating this beautiful woman of God, her king sitting next to her. We honor you to the highest of highs. May the Lord continue to bless your ministry. May He catapult you.
Yes.
Oprah, we looking for, we coming for you.
Yes.
She get these in your hand, get these in your book club.
Yes.
Because we coming for you,
Yes.
Oprah. God bless you.
Thank
and
you so
thank
much
you
for the
again.
opportunity. Thank you.
Yes, thank you. Thank you, Minister Pastor Elder. We appreciate y'all. May God continue to bless you.
Thank you.
And continue to drag and pull and take y'all to the lowest of lows. People that don't know God.
Yes.
Get their hands on these journals.
Yes.
Well, we're going to help you make sure they get them. Especially the people in the hood.
Yes.
Because we from the hood.
Yes.
So I come to you from That's Me Faith, from God's Ordinary People Outreach Ministries, also from At the Well Blog Talk Radio Show. Thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you.
Thank you.
God bless you.
Hello and welcome to A Conversation with Emmanuel Simms, where we dive deep into film, mental health, and community activism. I am Emmanuel Simms. I am a director, a producer, and the founder of In Vivo Exposure, a production company that focuses on mental health in Black and Indigenous communities through film and television. Throughout this series, we'll be discussing intersections of mental health and the arts, exploring the power of storytelling to heal and inspire, and examining the ways of which we can use our platforms to affect positive change in our communities. As a mental health advocate and a creative, I believe that we all have the power to change the world around us. Through my work through film and television, I plan to shed light on the issues that we have in our communities and hope to inspire social justice and equality for all. So join me on this journey as we explore the power of storytelling to transform lives and make a difference in the world. Together, we can create a brighter and more inclusive future for us all. For me, I was inspired way before Good Grief was even thought of. So I started doing a master's program at the University of the District of Columbia. It was a dual master's in mental health and clinical rehabilitation counseling. And during that time, I think I've sought out the most mental health help that I could ever get, because like during the program, it's very important for counselors to go to counseling. So during that, I realized that I was very privileged to have access to these services. I realized that not everybody's gonna go to counseling. Not everybody's gonna, seek services. And when they do, sometimes it's like already really, really bad, or like to the point where, medication and things like that can come into effect. And what I realized, it's just like a tooth, a rotten tooth. If you leave it too long, it can shut down your nerve systems. It can ruin your brain. It can do all types of different things like that. So it's the same with mental health. And I realized that if we were to treat things a lot sooner in our community by at least educating and teaching little techniques to us, to our people, that we will be able to actually prevent a lot of the extreme cases. And I say that because just me being aware that anxiety was real, I was able to go back to all of the times that I had a panic attack and said, oh yeah, I know why this was caused. I know what I could have did differently then, but I didn't have those tools now. So in Good Grief, I teach a grounding exercise. I went to film school after going to school for counseling. I said, okay, I'm not going to an office. I need to be able to teach in another different type of way. And I can tell stories visually. I wanted to be visual. So I went to film school, Full Sail. And during spring break, I said, it was like an itch that I had to scratch. I just needed to get this movie done. And I kind of felt like I betrayed the idea by making my thesis into a sci-fi film. And we'll talk about that later, the surprisingly interactive audiobook. It's a sci-fi, it's the same as Good Grief, except it's a sci-fi. Same story, different genre. And I didn't really get the message across in that movie. Like the whole first screening was like, it was like weird because my friends and classmates and colleagues and teachers were there, but it was like dead silence, and I realized that the message wasn't clear. So I rushed to get Good Grief done in 2021 because I felt like I had to justify myself as an artist, because I felt like I sold out for the VFX, you know what I mean? And I didn't really stick to my mission of teaching this grounding exercise. But I got lucky because during spring break, I was able to shoot this movie with some friends. We had a skeleton crew, literally whoever was available in Florida from film school, and we got together and we shot this movie. And it was important to tell this story because I wanted people to know how to do the grounding exercise. I wanted to teach how to bring ourselves back into the present moment. I wanted to educate what ruminating was. Watch this clip here. But for real, you should try grounding. You ever do that before?
What's that about?
Simple, man. It's the way you use your 5 senses to bring yourself back into reality. A lot of times we get lost in our head, and let me tell you this, ruminating thoughts hurt like hell.
Nah, man, you know black people don't be messing around with that meditation stuff.
It's not meditation. It's grounding. You don't even gotta close your eyes. If you don't trust me, at least trust yourself. So like I mentioned, I felt like I kind of sold out when it came to the surprisingly interactive audiobook. Although it was supposed to have the same sentiment, I didn't include the grounding exercise, which it was like, okay, it wasn't there. So when it came to Good Grief, which was the original story, before the surprisingly interactive audiobook came up, Good Grief was the original story, and the audiobook was originally in Good Grief. So in the original story, Omri would come home and he would be depressed, and he would throw his bag on the table, which would alert the audiobook. When the audiobook was to come on, then Demi would show up, which was the character that I played in the original. And once he showed up, he would guide him by just being there. Now, in this new remaster, you hear the intro of Mindful Manny, Emmanuel Simms, you know, myself giving that audiobook introduction. You're listening to the audiobook, find yourself in a comfortable position. And in the first movie, we didn't kind of give that. It just showed him going through the ups and downs, the trauma of not having quality health insurance, which was giving him people who didn't really care or just looked at him as a number, rather than trying to, you know, be empathetic. They're like, hey, you know, we'll get some more out the cage next week. And he's like, you know, just he's already going through it, and it's like the people that's supposed to be helping him aren't helping. So it's like, I'm at the end, you know what I mean? And this is the true story based off my life. But I was listening to audiobooks that saved my life. Shout out to Audible, let's do something. Because I was listening to audiobooks, and that's what was helping me dig my mind out of the rut. That on top of all the mental health learnings that I had, you know, 63 credits in a master's program, that I lost my mind at the end. I was seeking services. So when I say getting back into myself, getting back into my life, finding myself again, I really got to express how powerful the audiobooks was, but I kind of brought that vision back to life. That's what I wanted. And it's crazy how it worked out, because I have an Audible with my different books that are available on Amazon under Emmanuel Simms. You can get audio books there. But I also have a mindful meditation that you can listen to on Spotify and iTunes. Yeah, just look up Mindful Manny's Mindful Meditation, and you can find that on Audible and Spotify. I'll put a link right here. So I use a little bit of that as, you know, sync my own stuff, of course. And I have the audio book there. And there's this one part at the end of the movie, like, and I know it's my movie, but it gets me every time. I get to crying, I get the tears, because I can relate, right? I can relate to being, I can relate to Omri. And it was that moment when I knew I was enough, that I knew everything was gonna be okay. And I just wanted to tell a story that just showed how a man on the edge can overcome, you know, even if he just used the tools that he has. And also, like I said, in the movie, I'm giving out the tools of grounding. So that's still there, but I really just wanted to add that audio book piece, that missing piece that I felt real guilty for not putting it in there. The challenges that I face producing Good Grief, besides the financial situation, of course, one of my friends from Florida gave me $300 and rented me an Airbnb. Besides all the students that were in film school at the time were on spring break, I had about 7, 8 amazing people come and help me bring the movie to life. My roommate played as Omri, John Blanks. We're roommates, and he lived across the hall. We fought daily sometimes, but we worked it out, and you know, we became friends, and we not like fought like physical, we roommate battle, like, you know, wash the dishes, like stuff like that. But you know, he helped me bring my vision to life, and it meant so much to me. Taylor, she helped me just get organized. It was just having my friends there made the lack thereof better. Connor McDaniel was my first AD. Tiffany, Juliet, Maisha, I really appreciated her. She was so supportive. Like, just having a team bring the dream together, like, no matter what the hurdles were, I wanted to rush it to have it ready for a premiere at the Enzium, and it didn't even get screened. So I did I have impulse issues sometimes, and I'm working on it, but it's like I want to get things done when I want to get them done. And sometimes it's like, slow down and like take your time, and you can provide quality. And that's what I wanted to do with this director's cut. I wanted to really not just settle for completion, but get my complete vision across. So yes, in Vivo Exposure, we're focused on helping artists heal, helping the community heal by teaching them to critically think. That's our mission. We want to assist our community heal by teaching them how to critically think, by educating them or giving them these tools, basically breaking down mental health into conversational pieces so that everybody can benefit from it. So we create social media content in the form of TikToks, dance videos that are uplifting and motivating, and just inspiring people to be themselves and go all out and be them. We have a Triggered series that we're working on and we're raising money for. So if you're interested in becoming an executive producer, we have, and it's just for this year. Next year, the price is going to multiply by 10, but you can get in now at $1,000 as an executive producer. Make that donation as soon as you can. Link in bio. You can make a $500 donation for associate producer. You can make a $250 donation for assistant producer. And if you're not ready to make those big donations yet, you can become a special thanks donor, and that's $50. So what we're doing is we're raising monies to shoot these projects. We have a lot of the equipment already, so it's not gonna like cost us too much to get things done. And we have a very, very creative producer, myself. And yes, I know how to budget well. I don't budget to make money. I budget to put money in the film. And I know you're like, well, why is the movie gonna miss? My mission is to assist my community heal by teaching them to critically think, So if you can get with the mission and you can get with what I'm trying to do, let's work together. Let's help me help the community. I just know simple as that. Like, some projects will make money, but majority of them is just educational content so that we can heal our community. And I think it's well needed, and I need your help because I can't do it without you. Yeah, so one of the stories that stick with me the most, really short, it's not gonna be a long story, is I cry every time I watch the end. And it's like not a funny story, but it's like, bro, you know what's gonna happen, and it gets me every single time. I know I mentioned it earlier, but it gets me every time because not only am I proud of the movie, I'm proud that I was alive to make the movie. Like, I remember trying to harm myself, and I didn't want to die. I just didn't want to be alive. And I had to really look at the scale and stop putting myself in that situation where I would test to see when I know that I didn't want. So just being able to see the movie come to life, and for me to be alive to see it, for me to be alive to make it, I never thought I would be able to do that. And it's probably not like a story, but like, that's where those tears come from. The tears come from, I really survived, and so can you. You know, when you're in those moments and you're like, the panic is like so real. It's like you think that feeling nothing is better than feeling everything all at once. And it's okay. You know what I'm saying? It's really okay to feel it, you know? And sometimes the feelings get overwhelming and you don't want to feel it. And it's like, it's okay to have grief. So I named the movie Good Grief because it's okay to grieve. It's okay to hurt. It's okay to feel. It's okay to not be okay. Just having things to push you on to the next day, that's the secret. The secret is having techniques that can get you over to the next day, because sometimes like that next day just really shows you that everything was going to be okay. And I'm just so grateful because everything, it was okay. And I thought it was the end. It felt like the end. It felt like nothing would feel better, but here I am. I want y'all to know it's gonna be okay. So yeah, just give me a second. That's a way to bring it back. Okay, good shift. Whoever's producing this is doing a really good job. I'd have to say that when I got to live in China, I really learned about innovation. When there's limits, there's innovation. And I think that's very powerful because in the film, there's always limits, but then, right, there's innovation, right? So when I was in China, I learned that there was a limit on cars. So one of the innovative things that I noticed that people would put motors on their shopping carts so that they can still get around and things like that. Sorry. And people can still get around and, you know, not have to just push the carts, but have a little motorized push with it. And I thought that was super innovative. I learned that in China, the way they keep their GDP up is that they keep the cycle flowing, basically. So if like they keep the carpenter building, they keep the masonry making the cements or however it works. I may be getting all of this stuff wrong because I honestly got a C in those courses. I started skipping school and being an entrepreneur while I was in China. So whoever came up with these questions, really good questions. But yes, no, I really did learn that as long as you keep the cycle going, as long as you keep oiling the well, as long as you keep working at it, everybody will be able to work. And in film, everybody has an opportunity to work. From pre-production, from idea to post-production and screening and wherever you go with your film, there's an opportunity for everybody in every skill, from sign language to artists who draw paper, to people who do paper mache, to people who style rooms, to people who make music, to people who just, you know, play music. Like, there's so many opportunities for everybody in the industry to work together from every form of art and create this masterpiece. And the more that you work with, the more that you can add and invest into this creative piece. So that's what I learned when I was in China. It's like, when there's limitations, just get innovative. When there's limitations, make innovations. I'm trying to make something round, but whatever. But it's like just keep working, keep redoing, keep the cycle going. And when there's limitations, have innovations. And that's how my Chinese history and economics play into my film director, because I'm innovative. It's gonna work out. That's a good twist after the twist. Thank you, guys. There's a couple of trigger warnings, right? There's the whole Hinton Daily. There's dark humor. I wouldn't say that it appeals to a wide audience. It's totally niche. People who've been through stuff, some people find humor in healing. One of their techniques in counseling is humor. It's not like a technique, but it's like a skill that you can add in a session to make, the session go well. It's like you don't got beating a stick up the butt. You can actually laugh and joke with your clients, and y'all can build rapport and, help them get through what they're going through. So there's a lot of dark humor. There's a lot of edgy humor. I wouldn't say that I made it relatable to all audiences, but if you've ever been through something and you've ever been on that edge, I made it for you. And it's gonna be okay. And I love you. So when I first released it, I did get a lot of good feedback. Now there was a lot of, from my film students and film people, there was a lot of, hey man, you could've did this a little bit better. I'm like, yeah, it's a good movie, yeah, it could be done better, but how do I make it better? And I needed money. So thank you guys to all my donors. First of all, I want to say thank you to all my executive producers. Thank you to all my associate producers. Thank you to all my assistant producers. Thank you to all my special thanks guys. Thank you guys for sending me cash apps, Zelle, demos. Thank you everybody who donated to this slate through GoFundMe or bought popcorn. Whatever you guys have done, thank you, thank you, thank you, thank you. Because I am not one of these people who are taking your money and putting it elsewhere. I am putting it straight into the films. And it means a lot to me to have your support, because now I can take the films to the level that I really wanted to take them. I don't have to settle with what I could do on my own. I'm a father, I have children, and it's hard. And I appreciate you guys for making it less hard. I'm doing the Bowfinger approach, $21.84, about $2,000 in each movie. and we're trying to put them out, and you guys have been a great help. Thank you so much for taking the time to invest in our community. We really appreciate it. And to the Dripster community who are on our text blast, I love you guys so much. And if you haven't joined our community and you'd like to get on the text blast, just text me now, 240-607-5258. Now, if you want to become a donor, you can text movies to that same number, 240-607-5258. And then you'll get the links to all the opportunities to become a donor. But I just couldn't do it without you guys. And when people say that they really enjoyed it, and my aunt, my sales manager, my aunt, she's been calling. You guys probably heard from her, Aunt Gwen, aka Miss Gwen. She said she was going through some things when she watched it, but it helped her come to light. And it's like she tell me that every time we talk. I'm like, what is she saying? And she's giving me that feedback. She's saying that it did work, and that's proof. And that's the conversations that are being had, is that just give it a shot, and maybe something in you could be also lit. Absolutely. So after the 2023 Eudaimonia film slate is released, I am teaming up with Brandon T. Jackson as the Vice President of Development at KOE Studios. That's Kingdom Over Everything Studios. We have a release coming out called Trap City, where we star Young Jeezy and Clifton Powell, and I'm super excited about that movie. It's gonna be airing really, really soon. We've been developing movies like Detroit City Cop and Fighting Back, which are gonna both star Brandon T. Jackson and a bunch of different characters. I'm honored to be able to be a part of also the Hollywood and the high independent, but also, the middle class independent, and still make visions and dreams come to life. So if you have an idea, maybe your movie can be the next movie that I help produce, because I'm sticking to my culture. I'm sticking to loving to give back. But that's the sneak peek. Yes, I am working with KOE Studios, and we got big things coming in store. But if you have a movie and you have a story that you want to tell, shoot me a text, 240-607-5258, and maybe I can bring your vision to life. Once again, my name is Emmanuel Simms, aka the Drip Headmaster himself. And if no one's told you they loved you today, remember God loves you, and so do I. And to make it a great day or not, the choice is yours. Dribbity, dribbity.